I think it's important for every community to really take a look at this election in 2016, and really important that the Chinese American community had a chance tonight to ask their questions about issues that are unique to their concerns and from their perspective. And I think to have all these candidates, the Democrats, 8 of the Democrats, and 2 Republicans actually address this audience was a milestone, an important thing to be celebrated. So congratulations to the Chinese American community for, first of all, organizing it, really running a very good debate, I think, and also commanding the attention in this campaign and bringing a big audience to listen to the answers.
So, okay, and the other question is, I think at the end, in the closing mark, you mentioned besides the 4 questions tonight, you are all answered, and you have another, such as gun issue.
Right.
So I just want to know, besides tonight, the 4 questions, what areas you are, focus on and concern?
I go out in this community all the time and I knock on doors and I talk to Democratic voters and I ask them what are the issues they care about. And I think that, first of all, people are nervous about our economy. There's economic insecurity. Families feel like their children might not do better than they did. And every family wants their children to have upward mobility and be more successful than their parents. And so I think a lot of families are worried about that. And they're worried about it because college costs so much money now. And if you are a smart Chinese American student and you get into a top university, you're afraid that you might not be able to afford the tuition, or you'll have so much debt that you'll be drowning in debt when you graduate. And families worry about that. I think they worry about their daughters not getting equal pay for equal work. They worry about their children having balance between promising important careers, but also taking care of their children, because in the Chinese American community, the family is so important and parents are always looking to make sure that their children are well cared for and that they're also getting a great education. And they want their children to have balance in their lives, and that's why we need paid family and medical leave. These are the issues that I hear out there when I'm on the campaign trail, talking to voters. But I also hear people's frustration with the gridlock in Congress. They are frustrated that things don't get done, whether it's passing a minimum wage increase or equal pay for equal work or just getting guns out of our communities. And I think a lot of Chinese entrepreneurs worry about their safety in their shops, in their businesses. And having so many guns in the hands of dangerous people is not good because it makes us vulnerable. And that's why for me, covering gun shootings as a TV reporter for many years, why I believe we've got to stand down against the National Rifle Association and the gun lobby and make sure that we get gun safety.
So if you will be elected as a congresswoman, what's your top priority to,
I grew up in a family that prized education. My parents knew that if we all got a good education, we would be able to do well. And I think most families believe that, and I think the Chinese American community believes that really deeply. So for me, a priority would be making education more affordable, making sure that our public schools have the resources to provide English as a second language, pre-kindergarten for all children, having good student-teacher ratios so that kids can really do well. And I would love to serve on the Education and Workforce Committee in Congress to make sure we guaranteed that. But another priority for me is getting the guns off the street. And I'm not afraid of the National Rifle Association. I would go in there and try to build consensus and really argue and advocate on behalf of smart gun safety laws. That would be another big priority for me.
So I think at the debate, I remember you mentioned about that there is discrimination, especially the mention about China, and so you mentioned about because their relationship is not good.
Right.
So it means you say just want to build up the good relationship
Right.
between. So what's your strategy and what's your?
So I worked for 9 years for Marriott International, a big global hotel company, and I had the chance to go to China every year because Marriott is building hotels with Chinese owners. And in our business, we have developed trust. The Chinese owner owns the hotel, Marriott comes in and manages it. And together, we create jobs and a profitable business. We've got to build that kind of trust with our governments. We've got to get the U.S. government and the Chinese government trusting each other to work together to solve big problems. They both are working to try to solve climate change. They both agreed in December at the climate change talks in Paris to have goals to try to reduce our carbon emissions, to make sure that our cities are not polluted and we're not burning up our planet. We've got to work on other issues as well together. And I think when our governments work together better, in the same way that business is already working together between the U.S. and China, that's when we will stop having suspicion that results in things like people being rounded up and suspected of being spies for each other's governments.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.